Hey everyone, it's sort of like 3:48 a.m. Coming close to Halloween. It's actually really 4:48 a.m. but daylight savings time has gone back an hour, so you know, yeah, an extra hour of insomnia, which is great. So, what am I doing here? Well, I'm going to show you guys um, how to do chromatic aberration in Photoshop. You'll see chromatic aberration a lot in movies, and now you see a lot of it in games with added grain and things like that. And chromatic aberration really is to do with light spectrums and what kind of colors you see, but at the end of the day it's just separating, say, the reds and the green channels and moving them slightly. Now I have this pumpkin image here, and what a lot of people would do is they would go here into the channels, and they'd probably duplicate some of these, like the red, the blue, and they'd shift them, just nudge them slightly. One goes one way, one goes the other way, and then they'll go and blend and overlays and things like that. It's just so long-winded, and you think, why are you doing that? You know. Photoshop has a chromatic aberration tool built in, and the tool actually is to actually repair chromatic aberration if there's either too much or too less, but it also gives you a fantastic effect. Now, to do this, you just grab any image. You can just use any layer. It can be locked, it can be whatever, but what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to right click this, and I'm just going to duplicate it, and that's just to preserve this original image in case you need it. And besides, I want to show before and after, so this kind of helps with having two images. So from here we go to filter and we go to lens correction. Now in here you'll see something that says chromatic aberration. Now that's going to be to correct it, and we don't want to correct it, so make sure that's unchecked. And also, quite important, make sure that auto scale image is also unchecked. Okay, and once you've done that, just click where it says custom, and you'll get all these new dials and switches and super cool goodies. And the easiest way to do this is called fringing, and what you do is you slide the red over and the blue over this way, and automatically you can actually see around the edge what it's done. And all we do is click OK, and we have an image that's got chromatic aberration in it, before, after. You can't really see much at this level because you need to really zoom into pixels. So you've got your pixels here, that's with the chromatic aberration on, and that's with it off. You see, it's just separated the blue and the red channels slightly, but it gives it a slight blur, and it makes images kind of more dramatic, you know. So that's that image. I mean, we can do the same with this one here, and again, all we'll do is duplicate the image, filter excuse me, lens correction, and go back to custom, and just drop these down, move this one up, and click OK. And you can automatically see here, you know, I mean, this image actually has a lot of grain because it's black and white, and you know, the chromatic aberration shows them quite well, and you can see there without and with. It just adds a little bit of, you know, dramaticness as opposed to your image. So there you go, that's chromatic aberration in Photoshop. And whilst we're at it, as a little bonus, in the same lens correction options, you can do vignettes. Excuse me. And with this image here, it's rather cool, you know, I must admit. It's like something out of a horror film anyway. But it doesn't seem as dramatic as you want it to be. I mean, the easiest way, again, always, duplicate layers and things like that. But with this one, I don't really need to do that. What I'm going to do is, I'm just going to convert this to a smart object. And you'll see why that's apparent very soon. So we can now go back to filter and back to lens correction and back to custom, and this time you'll see vignette. So we want a dark vignette, so we move the slider to the left like so, and the midpoint underneath, this is how much of the vignette that you see towards the center. So where it is centralized here, it's just slightly on the edge. But if you want more of a dark sort of border, bring the midpoint into the left, and you'll see that it'll fill it in, and it makes this image look really cool because it just focuses basically on the face. If you have any questions about this, I'm wondering what happens if you put it the other way, it goes to white. Okay, which still kind of looks okay because you could find the use for that. No idea what, but you could. So that's a normal image, and that's it with the vignette. And click OK, and there we go. You have one image with a vignette. If you don't need it, you can just take the filter off. Now, how people have done this in the past is either gone into Camera Raw and added a vignette, or you've drawn an ellipse and you've inverted it, and you then feather it out and sit there with blending layers. I mean, this is just the easiest way to create a vignette because it's just there straight away, So there we have it. A couple of little tips for Halloween to make your images look a little bit better and a little bit spooky. And I suppose that's it from me. I'm gonna go and carve a pumpkin or a child with ginger hair. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.